fruit and salad growing industry, which is worth millions of pounds to the local economy, is campaigning to keep its special rights to bring in workers from Eastern Europe. It says without them, they'll struggle to fill supermarket shelves because they can't rely on English workers. The government is scrapping the Seasonal Agricultural Workers Scheme, which gives easy access to the UK for fruit and salad pickers from Bulgaria and Romania. From next year, those workers will get access to work anywhere in the UK, in any job, and growers fear they will no longer want to do work for them. They not only want to keep their current scheme, but expand further east to include places like Russia. Here's our Rural Affairs correspondent, Lindsay Smith.
When every one of these has to be picked by hand, you need a lot of hands. Les Dealey grows 4.5 million cucumbers a year in his Cottingham greenhouses, helped by 20 Romanian and Bulgarian workers.
They've made a massive difference to our company. One thing, they're here, so they want to work, and they turn up. And the hours doesn't worry them. And this is what this industry requires. Without this, we cannot supply the food for our country.
I really like to work here. We can make a good money. We work for a couple of months here and then go to Bulgaria.
Next year, Romanians and Bulgarians will be free to work anywhere in Europe. But without this easy access scheme, there are fears youngsters will choose jobs elsewhere. It could leave almost 700 seasonal jobs in East Yorkshire and Lincolnshire empty.
Germany's opened its borders as well. It's not just Britain who's removing these work restrictions. They're being removed across Europe. So they'll be spread out across Europe and they'll get jobs in one of the countries.
A government spokesperson told us there's little evidence the supply of seasonal labour will decline in the next 1 or 2 years. In general, they want to encourage employers to recruit from the resident labour market where possible. Jobs in horticulture can be hard work. They demand early starts and often late finishes. In a recent report commissioned by the government, workers described bending down 4,000 times a shift to pick celery and picking 20 kilos of strawberries an hour. Janet Aldroyd-Hume is not convinced British workers could fill the gap.
We actually did trial some English students this year, but it was an absolute disaster. Students that were coming one day and saying they were going to the pictures or going to the swimming pool. How can I make sure that my customers have got their strawberries, rhubarb or vegetables without having the right number of staff?
The National Farmers Union is now campaigning for a replacement scheme. They say this would avoid a rise in food prices and a reliance on imports at a time when more want to buy British. Lindsay Smith, BBC Look North, Cottingham.
A North Lincolnshire rail